A lot of the times I've personally been harassed or in a situation where I'm uncomfortable, not many people step in. What is the reason for that?
I think a lot of people are just unaware of how to do it safely and they're afraid of escalating the situation. I like to generally think that like people have good intentions and like want to help and also like can potentially relate to the situation, especially other women. But I think it's about knowing how to step in safely without escalating the situation, without putting yourself in danger or putting the victim in further danger. I don't think generally it's out of a lack of empathy or, you know, care for others. That's why knowing how to do this should be almost second nature, like first aid training and CPR and all that kind of stuff. We know these experiences happen so often, so it should be more ingrained in a way, and I think then more people would feel comfortable helping.
Yeah, I think it's a scary thing to see something happening and then be the person that steps in to help. It would be scary. What are some tips that bystanders can use to kind of get involved and, again, guess intervene?
Obviously, it's really important to assess the situation, and it also depends on who you are as a person within that situation. Like, speaking to men who are allies, they often worry that by them intervening, they might be adding more fear if it's like a younger woman, for example, and things like that. So obviously, like, firstly, assess the situation. Who is in that position? Are you as an individual, in terms of your characteristics, potentially going to further worry that person? It's really important to know that you don't have to step in a way that's like confronting the person or calling them out or anything like that, because that could escalate the situation.
Yeah, I feel like that's a common fear. It's like if I jump in, it's going to make the situation worse.
Exactly. There's some really simple things that you can do. So things like just pretending you know that person, like making up a name for them and being like, oh, I didn't know you got this route. It's basically distracts that person or makes the perpetrator think that the person they're targeting isn't actually on their own. Even just like sometimes simple things like eye contact with the person who's experiencing the situation to show them, I'm here, I'm watching, I've got your back. Even if you don't say or do anything, often it can make all the difference to just have someone there when you're in that situation. Knowing that someone's watching, knowing that someone's got you afterwards, even if it is in that moment you can't, but straight afterwards you can say to that person, are you okay? Would you like to go and speak to someone? I can come with you. It's also really important that if you don't think you can step in that situation, that you try and document as much information as you can, so that at least potentially you can help afterwards. If you're on a train, like what carriage you're on or time the train was, or details about the perpetrator, about the victim. There's also things just like distracting the perpetrator, asking them a question. Do you know where this train stops? Or do you know what the time is? Things,
it
any
probably
kind of
throws
question.
them off a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And
like,
it also can make them think, okay, maybe someone else is like watching the situation.
Yeah.
It is really important to obviously keep yourself safe, keep other people around you safe. So anything that you can do to make that person feel less alone, to distract the perpetrator, to pretend you know the person who's in that situation, can make all the difference.